Assalamu alaikum everyone. This is Umar Osman. I'm here with my friend Muhammad Faris from ProductiveMuslim.com. We're here to tell you guys about a course that we've been working on for the past few months. It's called Level Up Your Personal Growth and Productivity for Muslim Professionals. We got together a few months ago and we were just going over a lot of the things that we've done personally, a lot of things that we've gone through over the past few years, challenges that we faced, things that we've had to, kind of go through, and we realized a lot of people are facing the same things. And we wanted to create something that was of benefit and value to Muslim professionals to help them maximize their potential, to make sure that, we all kind of go through this thing where we overachieve in college and high school, get a good job, and then we look back after a few years and it's stagnated. We're kind of become commoditized or replaceable, and we're not growing as much as we thought that we would. And that's kind of the thinking behind this course. We want to give you the tools to help you level up that growth and productivity. Brother Muhammad has been teaching productivity for years now. You're all familiar with him from ProductiveMuslim.com. He's spoken around the world. He's got a TEDx talk, the whole bit. And we just wanted to go through a lot of these things. So why don't you tell them what's covered in the productivity module?
Sure. Assalamu alaikum, So inshallah ta'ala, in this course in production modules, I'm looking at some of the challenges that corporate office, people who go to office basically, knowledge workers, people who work in a corporate environment face in terms of productivity. Things like being always distracted, being able to manage the energy levels when you're feeling tired in those boring meetings. Things, for example, how to balance between their spirituality, between their family time, between their social commitments and their work. All these things and challenges, but from a more practical perspective. I've been teaching productivity the past 7 years, but a lot of times when I've been teaching this, a lot of people in the office say, hey, that sounds great, but come to my office and see how this works out. And that really kind of challenged me to say, you know what? I'm going to crack this. I'm going to try to figure out how can I teach the best techniques and tips to help you as Muslim professionals get ahead of work in terms of productivity. Be your best productive self. Not just about getting things done, because that's not the way I teach productivity. It's about living a holistic, productive lifestyle from spiritually, physically, socially, and of course getting works done as well, inshallah. So that's something I'm really excited about to share with you, and something that I'm hoping will give headways for you as you go through your day into work, inshallah.
And the growth module will be covering a number of things. There's a lot of buzzwords thrown around in the business world now, things like empathy, better listening, adding value, leadership, good teamwork, all these things that management wants to see. And a lot of us, we see people that we work with that sometimes aren't as qualified as us and they move ahead. And there's a lot of these other soft skills that are at play. We're technically proficient sometimes in our profession, but we don't have some of those other things sometimes that help us grow. So in the growth module, we'll be going over just your own personal growth. What does your personal growth plan look like? How do you create a curriculum for yourself to make sure that it's not just about your skills staying relevant, but look, a lot of us are working jobs that did not exist 20 or 30 years ago. We've got to look down the line now for the next 10, 20, 30 years and say, do I like what I'm doing? And is what I'm doing even going to exist? How do I make sure that I stay relevant? So we go through how to develop your skills, how to have the right mindsets, how to change your big picture thinking, how to have the relationships in place to make sure that you level up no matter what kind of transition that you go through. And I know a lot of these sound like really big and vague ideas, but we've kind of gone through and distilled down the best ways to learn these things with practical action items. So practical that we even give you things like exact emails to send to your manager in some cases to make sure that you're moving the needle forward on these topics. Now, when I heard Brother Muhammad's part on productivity, I got to be honest, I'm not the type of guy that's into a lot of these productivity tools and productivity hacks and life hacks and this and that. I usually hate that kind of literature. But I can say after listening to his material, it really changed the way that I looked at first and foremost, my energy. Just balancing that spiritual, physical, mental, all those things at work and how they interplay. A lot of times we compartmentalize. We have spirituality at home, we have other stuff going on at work, but the holistic approach is something that really changed my mind. And one thing that, I told Muhammad before, I was like, here's one thing that you can't fix. You can't fix the tough day at work when it's 3 o'clock, everything's been terrible, you've been putting out fires, and all you need is 2 candy bars to feel better.
We'll talk about that, of course. So, and to be honest, also get some confession moment here. So even when I first heard about Omar stuff and the leadership stuff, I'm like, man, that sounded like foo-foo, right? All these big vague ideas, communication, relationships, feel better, be curious. And I'm like, Omar, man, it's like, are you sure this stuff is practical? Because for me, it's all about practical, the life skill, the bits, the things you do every single day. But really, after listening to Omar and going through his modules, I'm like, you know what? Its stuff makes sense, and it's really it's the mindset and the relationships and the things that if you do and if you play it right, you can really level up. And this is stuff not just that is we came up with from nowhere. This stuff that's been researched and documented, that's been proven to work, and we applied it in our own careers.
It's a lot of stuff that we've learned,
Exactly.
not just the hard way, but the very hard way.
Yeah, with $1,000 spent courses and books and seeing it unfold in front of our eyes. So we really wanted to share this with you, and more importantly for us is we wanted to create a community. Like all of us come together as Muslim professionals, working together towards leveling up our personal growth and productivity, because that's what in the end what really matters to both of us. We wanted to help Muslim professionals wherever out there in the world, whether corporate America, whether abroad, anywhere in the world. We wanted to help Muslim professionals level up and really grow in their careers and their productivity. We want to create like a brand for Muslim professionals. Well, next time, when you go into the job interview and they say you're Muslim and they kind of have this brand. Yes, this might sound like something that's kind of big in the idea there, but that's what we really care about. This is our first step for that, and we're really excited about this course, and we hope you guys can join us.
We're going to help maximize the potential of the ideal Muslim professional. That's kind of what it comes down to. And last thing is, these are things that you might be looking and saying, yeah, I kind of got that. I know I need to work on these things. I'll figure it out. It'll happen. The reality is, for a lot of us, if we look back at the past 5 years, a lot of things haven't changed the way that we want. And so for everyone, there just kind of comes a time we have to make a decision. Am I going to invest in myself, or am I going to continue to figure it out for another year and see how it goes? And most of the time, it doesn't work. Every time that I've had any kind of milestone where I've had to try to achieve something, it's taken a lot of sacrifice. And you have to take some time out. We're not telling you to take out hours upon hours, but you do have to put in some work. It is a course that's crafted with action items that do take some time, but you'll see results, inshallah, if you commit to it. So this is kind of the fork in the road. Take the decision, invest in yourself, change that course. You can't change your destination overnight, but you can change the direction that you're heading. And that's what we're trying to do. Change that direction, level up. We hope you'll join us in this course. We hope you'll join us in creating this community of maximizing your potential and of being the ideal Muslim professional.